Hello, I'm Patty Stevenson. I'm a teacher at Saugus High. I teach French and I'm the department chair. But I'm here today to talk about our China exchange program. We are in our 6th year and we send students to China every other summer or every summer, and every fall we take 5 Chinese kids that attend Saugus High School for the fall semester. So it's what we call a sister school program, and it's one that impacts loads of kids over the years, both American and Chinese, and also has impacted our community because the Chinese kids who live here live with host families and get to know about life in Santa Clarita, and when our students go to China, they also live with host families. So it's really 2 communities, not just 2 schools. We just returned from 6.5 weeks in China. I was there with our students, and during that time they attended both regular and special classes, regular with Chinese students and special classes for our students. They had 3 hours of intensive Chinese every day. And I also did some teaching, coaching of English, and also taught a class to our students in Chinese literature in translation. So I'd like to introduce you to one of the students who just returned with me. She's wearing her school uniform because in China they wear a uniform every day. Luckily, teachers don't have them, but even I had to follow a dress code that's much more strict than here. So here's Katie.
Hi, I'm Katie Washak, and I just got back from 6.5 weeks in China. While I was in China, I went to school and learned all phrases that you could think of for everyday life. My favorite was learning how to bargain, and we went and bargained at the Muslim market and got some pretty cool things. During our normal day, we would sit in the classrooms with the Chinese students, and that was my favorite part of the day because I got to see how they went to school and how they learned, which is a lot different than the US. The classes are bigger and the teachers speak faster. And then after that, we went to classes with the students that went to China, and we learned Chinese for a very long time. And then we had culture class, which was another fun part of the day because we learned culture and Kung Fu, which was one of my favorites too. Probably the best part of my experience was seeing how the Chinese live, how they do everyday things. They don't do as much as I would in a normal day in America, which was different because I didn't have anything to do. I wasn't allowed to go out by myself. And my sister was always with me, which was a great thing because I would have gotten lost in the middle of nowhere. The best part of the experience was hanging out with my family. While I was there, I had a 16-year-old sister and a 5-year-old brother, which isn't normal because you can't really have 2 kids in China without paying a big fee. But it was a lot of fun. I taught my brother some English and he taught me some Chinese. He was probably the easiest to understand because he speaks Chinese at about my level. And we played games and watched TV together. My sister was very smart. She loved puzzles, and we always did those magic rings where you have to try to get the rings off of the stickers, those fun things that I could never do. But she showed me how, and then I brought them home and I showed my family here that I could do them and they couldn't. My mom there knew no English, and so I taught her a little bit of English, and she was harder to understand because she spoke very fast. My dad, he would always take me out places and he always wanted to show me China, and he wanted me to go home knowing the most about China, and I think I did because I think I saw a lot more than the other kids that did because my family always wanted to take me out and go places. They always stayed up later than me, and they'd always laugh at me because They always wanted to hang out with me, but by 9 o'clock I was ready to go to bed and they were just getting started with their night. Well, I'm really glad that I went to China, and so now I'll say what I said to my family when I left China. 再见.
One of the best things, or the most fun things we do when we're in China is we organize a party for the classmates of our students. And so we do kind of a carnival kind of things, and we play games, and the Chinese kids can earn tickets to win wonderful prizes that we've brought from home. Wonderful depends upon your perspective. One of the hot items this year were red, white, and blue sunglasses about this big. And they got pens, and they got t-shirts and Saugus gear, and that was great fun. We also had the chance to go to the World's Fair in Shanghai for 3 days, and I'd never been to a World's Fair at my age, so it was a great experience for the kids. And then we had to go back, and the students had to take final exams. So they studied in the train, because we spent 25 hours in the train each way. The end of our stay in China was 4 days in Beijing, which we do on our own. The trip to Shanghai was funded by the Chinese school. And in Beijing, we did the Great Wall and the Forbidden City and all the wonderful things that our students need to experience when they've been in China. And by this time, their language was much better. And now we're back home, settling in, and in a few days, the latest group from China will come. Mrs. Lee is the teacher chaperone, as I also went as the teacher chaperone, and she will come with 5 students. They're going to be living with Saugus families, and I think we're off to another exciting year of exchange, of learning from each other, sharing our backgrounds. Certainly in China, there's a different way of education, and they'll see ours. And I've learned some things from theirs, and I think they will learn some things from ours. So I've met these kids and Mrs. Lee, and I'm looking forward to seeing them at Saugus in a little over a week. If you're interested in learning more about the exchange, you can go on the Saugus website and get in touch with me. Maybe your family wants to get involved in the future, or maybe your students would like to study Chinese. And currently, we're the only school in the district that offers Mandarin language. We have levels 1 through 4. So feel free, look on the website if you have questions, and I hope to talk to you. Thank you.